Hey guys, this is Eckhart Slaughter. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars video. And we've been talking a lot about The Mandalorian lately and Star Wars television shows generally. I've mentioned how I think there are some areas where Star Wars can improve when it comes to TV, how The Mandalorian is doing a lot of things right, but we also last night got a new, I guess we could call it a trailer, for The Mandalorian Season 2, which I did cover in a 30-second video. Let me just address that right off the bat. I put up a little bit of a joke video. Most of you guys seem to like it. As I said, it was 30 seconds long. It sort of riffed on the fact that there was very little new footage in the new Mandalorian trailer. And to be honest, I did find that a little disappointing because I had to stop playing Star Wars Squadron to watch it. Anyway, that's not the topic of today's video, but it is tangentially related to what we're talking about, and that's the fact that going into The Mandalorian Season 2, we know pretty much nothing. At least officially, we know nothing. And this is the exact same as was the case for The Mandalorian Season 1. I think a lot of people were pretty apprehensive before Mando Season 1, and I think that's reasonable. With the trailers, we didn't really know what was going on. We weren't sure what the scale of the show was like. We weren't even sure what the budget would be like. I remember talking to Star Wars Explained, and this is something that he said as well on his channel. He wasn't as hyped for Mando Season 1 before the series actually started airing, just because they did take such a minimalist approach when it came to marketing. Of course, he's a huge fan of the show now, as I think are a lot of us. Most Star Wars fans almost universally like The Mandalorian, which is certainly a nice change of pace compared to pretty much everything else right now. The restraint that Disney showed for Season 1 not to show the child is actually fairly remarkable. I mean, Baby Yoda is pretty much the most easy tool for marketing ever, and there was no toy leaks, there was no shots of Baby Yoda before Season 1 aired, and that frankly is really impressive. Same with Season 2. We've got some rumors from a lot of people about certain characters being in the show. I won't talk specifics because I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's trying to go in spoiler free, but even with rumors of those characters, we don't have any idea where the storyline for Season 2 will be going, other than the fact that, as we know from Season 1, The Mandalorian is probably trying to take Baby Yoda somewhere where he can be among his people or be trained or something, and this trailer gave us a little bit more. We know that the Mando is trying to meet other Mandalorians, but beyond that, it's all a mystery, which is nice. We don't know what characters will be in Season 2, besides for the very few have been confirmed. We don't know what planets will be in Season 2. We don't know where the storyline will take us. We could, run in with bits of the First Order, which I hope doesn't happen. Even if it is sort of just the early seeds of the First Order, we could run into Luke's Jedi Temple or his new Jedi Order. Kind of hope that doesn't happen really. Or the story could be self-contained, but take us to planets that we're familiar with, like Coruscant or Nar Shaddaa, or wherever. The point is we don't know, which in my opinion shows a remarkable amount of restraint from Disney and Lucasfilm. More than just restraint, I think it also shows a lot of confidence in the product. For 2 seasons now, Disney has sort of let The Mandalorian rely on its own quality as a form of marketing. Yes, if they had teased Baby Yoda before episode 1, there would have been more people interested in that episode. Instead, they let the interest build naturally, and that does seem to be what they're doing for Season 2. And to be honest, that does fill me with confidence, and it makes me interested as a Star Wars fan. But this also ties into something else, and that is leaks. Nothing, or at least very little other than characters like we mentioned earlier, has leaked about The Mandalorian Season 2. If we compare this with, say, Episode 7 or Episode 9 in particular, this is really impressive. The entire plot for Episode 9 was basically leaked like 8 months before the movie released, and that really took away from my enjoyment. I always get this stuff spoiled for me, sometimes by me, but often by people who will spoil it to me, either unintentionally or intentionally, and I just find it remarkable that an 8-episode TV show with a relatively lower budget when compared to a movie can be more secured than the final episode of the Star Wars saga, or even Episode 7. There was definitely something going on with Bad Robot, because JJ's movies were the really leaky ones. There was less from Solo and Rogue One and Episode 8, but lots of big properties now see major leaks, Avengers Endgame leaked out in advance, and whenever there's a lot of fan interest, there's always a lot of effort to get those scoops, to get those articles, to leak whatever you can. So I gotta give a shout out to Disney, and largely I suppose Jon Favreau and the rest of the production team. Another thing I'll mention is that it really does seem like The Mandalorian has been planned out in advance by Jon Favreau. He's talked about how he's had this idea for a show like this for a long time, and how I think it was one Christmas he basically wrote a lot of the original story treatment, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're still going on the basic outline that he wrote at the beginning. The Mandalorian is already in pre-production for season 3, maybe even further along than that. It definitely feels like one man's vision, which is something that was missing from the sequel trilogy in particular, and yeah, I love The Mandalorian. Season 1 of The Mandalorian may be my favorite Star Wars content after the original trilogy, with maybe the exception of a couple of things, maybe episode 3, probably the Thrawn trilogy, and maybe a couple of other things from the EU. There's one final thing I want to address, and it's something I mentioned at the top of this episode. It's about the trailer from last night. I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. Well, why did you rip on the trailer then on Twitter yesterday and in this video and a little bit last night? Well, I think the trailer still has issues. You can keep the plot of a television season completely under wraps and still make a trailer that's exciting. This trailer wasn't exciting, in my opinion. I don't think that reflects at all on the upcoming season. It's just the shots they chose to include. A lot of flying, a lot of menacing walking, characters we already know, locations we've already been to and seen. Now, obviously those will be in season 2, but why is that the focus of this trailer? Now, I guess it will help people who haven't been fully involved in the marketing. And to be honest, if you're a Star Wars fan and a hardcore Star Wars fan who enjoyed Mandalorian season 1, you're probably already all in on season 2 anyway. So I guess this trailer probably wasn't aimed towards me, but just a little bit baffling. I think they could have done better. That's all I've got for today though, guys. Another rambling video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.